Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Okay, guys, we got a lot to talk about here, and I'm going to tell you right now, none of it's bearish, all right? We had one thing bearish that came out this week, but does it have to do with the charts, which is what we discuss here on this channel? No, all right? So, like, if you're going to be bearish on things that aren't in the charts, and you're going to hate on the people who are bullish because of the charts, just know we don't care about the charts, or we don't care about the things that aren't on the charts here on this channel. All right, and what was bearish about this week was not on this chart, which is why it really didn't concern me. Did you have a big fat nasty gap down over here at SPY and QQ on Friday off of said bearish news? Yes, you did. All right, yes, you did. You had non-farm payrolls coming pretty dang stinking hot. All right, guys, it was like 100% miss over there. Like, it literally came in double. I think it was an extra 300,000. And then I forgot the other data point that you also came in hot, which was a recession indicator. I think it was your jobless claims already ended up coming in hot earlier the week. So, guys, we did have some things behind the scenes to be bearish about. But again, are they on the charts? No. All right, so we did know Fear and Greed Index was all the way down to 17. Last time it hit 17 was at the October bottom. All right, like literally it was October 11th, 2 days before your bottom. You ended up having extreme fear. All right, just a very bearish miss, just like we just had. But what did that bearish miss back over here do on CPI? Guess what? It put in your bottom. There was so much fear that, hey, everyone was just piling short off of that report ready to open. What happened? Squeezed them right out the gate. If I'm remembering correctly, you had a $25 move over here on either SPY or QQQ. Which one was it? QQ, did we have a $25 move here? No, okay, I'm bugging. It was a $15 move. All right, regardless, guys, you had a sick, nasty move. Now, what did we have the other day? What did we have on Friday? All right, we had an $11 move, guys. I'm just going to point out before we advance into this video here, which keep in mind, guys, we're going to go over the weekly charts. We're going to come back over here towards the end of the video, and we're going to discuss these daily charts. But let me just shout this out. All right, before I go any further in this video, because honestly, this is how I'm feeling going into next week. This is exactly how I'm feeling. Do you see this right here? All right, you want to know what this is? You're going to put that there. You're going to put that there. You guys see that 14D number? That means 14 days. That means we were just in consolidation for 2 weeks. What did Friday's candle do? All right, you're talking discluding $3.50. You engulfed 2 weeks of price action, discluding at $3.50. All right, which might I add was only a few days out of those 2 weeks. Regardless, you engulfed 2 weeks price action. Guys, I don't know how you could be bearish about it. I don't know. All right. I was trying to warn people. I don't even want to say warn people, because that's like telling, because guys, at the end of the day, I don't know that I'm going to be all right, but I am going to scream from the top of my lungs when I think every single factor of evidence here on these charts points to one side. Besides, like, the things that aren't going on the charts, like, you know, the things that the yields that are going crazy right now that everyone's flipping crap about. All right, I'm just saying, guys, those are the things I don't care about. All right, I really don't. Virus and threat protection, guys. Do we have a virus on this computer? Is someone listening to this video as we record it? I don't know, guys. I don't know. All right, let's get back into it, though, guys. You engulfed 2 weeks of price action. What also happened? You broke out to the upside from your base. Is that a bearish thing? Josie, leave it. What are you doing? Sorry, my Josie just got back from the emergency vet. She was there for 48 hours. She had these IVs in her, so I gotta make sure she doesn't mess with those for the next day or so those all heal up. All right, guys, just in case anybody was wondering, Josie's doing fine. The pups are doing amazing. Doing real good, all right? They had Josie had a lot of xylitol the other day. I went out to dinner and she got in my bag, and she ended up, I had these extra refreshers, and Josie got into the extra refreshers. And guys, one of those extra refreshers, they are enough to kill a 10-pound dog. I think it's 500 to 1,000 milligrams milligrams of this xylitol shit. You can kill a 10-pound dog. Well, guys, Josie is about 40 pounds. All right. And Josie consumed 30 to 35 of those. All right. So how she's alive, I have no idea. I thought she was dying the other night. She did not. It all worked out, and 48 hours later, she's back and she's beautiful. Nice and... Well, honestly, guys, she was never even, like, she didn't have any signs, except the first night she drank a crap ton of water. So like that's a sign something's wrong. All right. She drank like half her massive jug of water, their gravity jug, whatever you want to call this thing. It just keeps refilling itself. She just kept drinking. All right. Regardless, Josie's fine. I'm happy. I was a little stressed over that for the past few days, but today was a big weight off the shoulders there, weight off the chest, I guess we could say. You know what's also weight off the chest, guys? The fact that we've been basing for 2 weeks and we just now broke out. The fact that we called this out the other day, you had an ugly double bottom going on over here on QQQ, and then what happens? Everyone gets bearish on this freaking thing, and what does it do? It puts in the reversal. All right. Do you know how funny that is? That's so relieving. All right, guys. I'm just going to put that out there. All right. If you've been establishing long positions for a while now, like SPY over here, you could have done what we did over here. All right. Then sold in supply. All right. But if you were establishing this whole week here, all right, literally this whole week, all right, we knew downside was limited. All right. Which is why 20 or 30 days out, that was the call. It's not 1 week out. It's not 2 weeks out. It's 20. It's not even 3 weeks out. It's 20. Well, that is 3 weeks out. That's 21 days. All right. But like it's 20 or 30 days. You had, like I told you, I gave it 99 to 1 odds. Henry odds. I think it was in one of these videos. 99 to 1 Henry odds. You were going to end up playing. You were going to be paid out very nicely on 20 to 30 day call contracts over here in SPY, all right? That did end up being the case. Now, did I know QQ was going to be this way stronger one? No, I did not, all right? But I will say, sexy setup over here coming out of QQQ. You broke out from this ugly double bottom that does actually allow us to put a price target on the board, all right? We're not going to do that, but if you would like to put your own price target on the board, thepatternSite.com, you can find it there, and it will literally show you all of these chart patterns. And I'm just saying, I'll actually pull it up right here. Very nice tool we got going on over here. Now, do I use it often? No, I don't use it often. Why? Because, guys, this is how I learn charting, all right? I know all of these off the back of my head, all right? Just like I know this price target is going to be somewhere around 369, all right? Just like SPY's rising wedge that it actually broke down from, all right? One of the targets was probably going to be down here from around 430. And then one target of rising and falling wedges, the wedges in general are always going to be where that wedge started, all right? So if we had a falling wedge going on here, which actually, do we have a falling wedge going on here? We do have a falling wedge on Apple that I'd like to point out here, all right? So you don't actually have a falling wedge here, but I will also remind everyone, we have a massive bull flag over here on QQ. So I know, guys, I was just talking about this bullish setup we got going on. And guys, if you were wondering last week, like why I was calling it a bullish setup, we were basing on every single thing. Every single thing on the smaller time frames was doing this. All right. QQQ and SPY just happened. You know, these are the main ones we watch, and they were doing this for a while here. All right. And on the smaller time frame, you did it right here. All right. And you broke out above 425. That is when you were to get bullish. Now, I will point this out right here. QQQ, you broke above your neckline for this ugly double bottom. What are we going to expect automatically? We're going to expect a break and retest, all right? More often than not, I'm talking 8 out of 10 times, you're going to get one of these break and retests. Now, do you go a little higher and it's something like actually this, all right? And then from there, we can maybe come test this upper trend line, which here you could, this on the hourly time frame, but on the daily time frame, you can really see the touch points I decided to choose, all right? We decided to go with these. That should be right there, all right? But this is... just going to point this out, guys. This is an extremely sexy setup we got going on. If you wanted to know what I was bullish on, I was bullish on this basing formation last week. I was bullish on SPY's RSI hitting under 30 twice. I was bullish on that, all right? What was I also macro bullish on, guys? Well, I know for a fact I said it in my last weekly update and the weekly update before that we have a massive bull flag going on, and I'm going to keep this on my chart to remind myself, because if we fall down, it is a buy the F and dip opportunity right there. BTFD, all right? Like straight up, this was the opportunity. And did we know that? Yeah, we did. All right. We knew that from up here. When you got to oversold, we were looking to buy. All right, guys. Things look extremely bullish to me. Now, I'm also going to put on another indicator that I don't bring up too much, but I've been seeing this one on Twitter. So let's just bring this up. So not only do you have your RSI heading straight up, all right, it looks just like it is over here, guys. If there is a pullback, I will buy the pullback. I told you guys I was going to buy the dip for all of us. I was going to eat this dip for all of us. I ate the dip the whole week for all of us. And on Friday, I kept looking at the phone like half an hour's in between. I just kept having a bigger and bigger smile. There'd be a customer in front. There were actually three customers that day asked me why I was smiling. And it was, I just told them I had a right call. That's all I said. All right. And like in reality, guys, I had a dang freaking stinking, a big call over here. And I'm just going to say right now, things look like they're just getting warmed up. All right. Even if like, we're just going to have something like this. All right. That's where your MACD looks like where you are right now. All right. And I don't use the MACD. I don't like using these indicators too much. I take pride in that. I don't take pride in it. All right. But I like the fact that I only use the RSI. Why? Because it is so simple. You see where the top developed with this bearish divergence right into our supply zone? All right. You see how simple that was? You see where this top developed? I understand you can go crazy. All right. You go crazy when you're in overbought territory, but you're going to have these pullbacks in overbought territory. Just like when you get into oversold territory, which I'm going to say it works a lot more for oversold territory right away. Snapbacks, strong snapbacks work so well for oversold territory compared to overbought. Why? Because the market naturally is bullish. The market naturally wants to be bid up. All right. There are market participants that are increasingly just bidding prices up. There are continuous new market participants buying into a market. And then the people who are already a part of the market, a lot of these people are just holding. All right. So what does that do? It literally just keeps, I'm sorry, I brought that up. It literally just keeps, all right. It just keeps sending the market higher. All right. So guys, I'm just going to say right now, all right, I know we're 11 minutes in, and I know I haven't said one bearish thing this whole video, and there's a reason why, because there's nothing bearish on these charts to me. All right, you got two reversal candles. Well, you had the bottoming tail right here. You have a hammer candlestick over here on QQ on the weekly. You have a hammer candlestick. You have a bottoming tail right here. You have a second one with a hammer, which is also a bullish engulfing candlestick off of this other one. All right, guys, do you see these before you're about to go lower? The larger bottom wicks. All right. You had this one. I understand. That was actually a complete bear trap. Or a bull trap. I completely understand. All right. You did end up going higher that week, though. You had $3 to the upside. All right. But right here, all right. No, you went higher the next week. Right here. No, you went higher the next week. Right here, you went higher the next week. All right, guys. So like more often than not, you're going to see these at pivot points, not before you have a waterfall style sell off and you get the 410. Somehow I'm still seeing people on Twitter shout out 410. I don't understand it. These people shouldn't have Twitter accounts with people like following them. They should not. And then a bunch of the comment section just all over the place. All right, guys. Retail is still just shouting at 420, 410, all right? And I'm like, how do you have a candlestick on Friday and you're just going to ignore the price action? You're just not going to freaking pay attention to the fact that it engulfed almost 2 weeks of price action, all right? Spies over here engulfed definitely at least a whole week's price action. QQQ almost 2 weeks, all right? DIA, a whole week. IWM, yeah, we could call it almost a whole week, all right? We got 4 out of 5 days, well, the 3 out of 4 days right there, you engulf. Regardless, this is so bullish on QQQ, it's ridiculous. Just look at the weekly bull flag, all right? Just look at the candlesticks. Look at the increasing volume you got on these candlesticks. Look at the daily massive volume behind this massive bullish engulfing candlestick that engulfed most of this past 2 weeks. All right, guys, things look very bullish. Now, what did we talk about a lot over here on Mr. VIX? We talked about that if you were to have another spike or a move lower on the indices, you're going to see VIX spike up right here into a super resistance. Why is it a super resistance? All right. Why did we call it that? Back testing this trend line, broken trend line, just like you got sellers right here, right? And you could say you can't do TA and VIX. Guys, what the heck am I showing you right now? You can very clearly do TA and VIX. Anybody who's telling you this literally has not been involved with VIX for long enough to know that you can do TA on the VIX. I show it not in every video, but a lot of these videos, all right? Guess what? If you got another move lower on SPY, we were looking for a spike up here into the super resistance. You had downtrend, you had an uptrend, previous uptrend, back test, you broke out, you back tested twice. We were looking for sellers there. What do you also have? What makes it that super resistance? You have these previous double tops. All right, then what also happens? You have your RSI was going to tick above 65. What are we looking for then? Only a few days above 65, and then you're going to get that at least a counter trend rally over here on SPY. We're looking for VIX to come down when it gets up here. So what also happened? We have a fourth bearish factor at play here. You have a bearish divergence over here on VIX's daily RSI. When did you last have a bearish divergence? Boom, bop, bing, boo, pow. All right, you had it right there. What happened? You had a major sell-off for quite some time here. Now, how many days you ask? How many days you ask, huh? We're talking 2 weeks. We're talking, it was just the 6th, all right? What is the, next week's expiration, guys? I think we got the 13th. What's the next one? 20th. We're going to have the monthly OPEX. Are we going to rally our butts off into the monthly OPEX? I think we are. I'm just going to put that one out there. I was saying the same thing last week before Friday's candlestick, all right? We're not switching up. We're still uber bullish, all right? And that's that. Not perma bullish. I just don't see anything bearish on these charts at this point in time. And that's that, all right? There's charting, and then there's playing with your emotions and listening to the crowd. And guys, we don't do that. We don't do the ladder here. We ladder into the positions when it makes sense, all right? But we don't do the ladder right there. We do not. We don't get uber bearish when there's very limited downside over here in SPY. We just don't do it, all right? I'm also going to outline that I still do believe IWM is to probably offer more upside than SPY. That's just, my opinion going into what I think is about to be a really decent-ass rally. But I will also say right now, SPY is going to get explosive if it reclaims this supply zone and turns it into a demand zone. You could very easily see something like that. Or you come straight up here. You come and back this. All right, guys, let me just point this out to you. You have 2 touch points here. If you decide to go, you have 3 touch points here. You have right here. You gap down, big, fat, nasty gap down. What happened then? You freaking rallied all day into your supply zone. Then what happened? I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. I just got home. I missed my babies. All right, guys. But yeah, you could very easily run up to this 438.43 gap fill, reject off of there, back test this, and then continue your rally up to this downtrend right here, which I'm going to take off this. I don't think SPY looks too much like a massive bull flag, but QQQ, no one can deny me this. This is absolutely massive, and I think we do have a bull case here for further upside, all right? I also will highlight, guys, we pointed out, all right, guys, look at how these things are shaping up, all right? You had a perfect double bottom over here in NQ. We called that out sometime during the week, all right? Then you had this going on over here, and your RSI came, just like SPY, it literally came down to oversold territory. Why would you be bearish on that? That's literally every other time it's happened since the COVID crash. That's been exactly where you either go like maybe 5. Here was different. We're going to say that actually. All right. You got the 31 right here. I'll fully acknowledge that. The low of this candlestick, you went at $20. All right. So on SPY, this would have been 22 bucks. All right. Let's just go over to SPY. I'll just show you over there. All right. But then, like, just look at this. If you were laddering into 20 to 30 days, I'm not advocating for you to, in this scenario, to ladder in 20 to 30 days. I was definitely advocating in the current scenario. All right. But over here, I still probably would be doing the same. I'm just going to put that out there, right? Just putting that out there because do you see what happened? Just you go 2 weeks out. All right. Well, what was the high 2 weeks later? All right. The high was all the way up here, $13 up from where you started laddering in from off of this RSI being down there. All right, guys. So you don't get bearish into that. I'm still not bearish. If we come down here and get another dip, guys, I'll eat it. We just engulf 2 weeks of price action on QQQ. Do you see that volume? It's higher than, since the last time you put in this top. So did we just put in the bottom? Probably. All right. All right, guys. So I'm going to quickly outline what we got going on over here on Apple. You have 2 falling wedges. I saw one of these on Twitter, all right? A full, transparency over there. But we did also point this out the other day on Apple. And congrats if anybody did end up playing Mr. Apple over here. We did point out, all right, you were getting resistance right here. You're breaking retest. This is why I always say the retest, guys, all right? The retest. It's so freaking common that, just use it to your advantage, all right? We do all the time here on this channel. I think everyone should have that in the tool chest, all right? It's the only setup that I really do pay attention to other than inverse head and shoulder. Never mind, I pay attention to so many setups. It's just in my subconscious, all right? Because as we speak right now, you have this falling wedge, all right? You also do have this. I see it right now, all right? You hear Micah whining? She's a little... Little whiny baby, right? Josie's a trooper, right? You had this inverse head and shoulders formation. You had this falling wedge formation. What you also have, all right? I also love seeing the RSIs at 30. I think it's the easiest setup to go off of. What happens when the RSI is at 30? You start looking for the reversal signal like we have right here on SPY and QQ. All right, you see this bottoming formation. I've been calling it out, guys. I literally was all week. We were bottoming. All right, we had a base. I didn't call it a bottoming. I did say we were bottoming. I did actually say that, all right? But I know for a fact it said we are putting in a base all over the place, you know, so often, guys. Everything, in guys, NVIDIA, all right? It's the favorite setup down there, all right? It continues to perform, all right? I know I just said all right 4 times. I heard it too. I did. I did hear it, all right? Oh, I got to stop saying it. It's bothering me. It's so bothering me, all right? I just said it again. I got to stop. I got to stop. Inverse, head and shoulders, right here, breakout. I know, sloppy trend line I just had right here. That was your neckline right there. What happened on Friday? You broke out with heavy volume and a very heavy green dildo looking candlestick right here, right? What was that dildo looking candlestick right there? You also engulfed the hammer candlestick. Guys, this is so bearish. It's redonkulous, all right? I gotta stop saying that. Gotta stop saying that word, guys. Start calling me out on it. I will appreciate it. Because if that happens, the pressure is going to be on, and then guess what? We're going to replace it. But what happens when we replace it? Are we just going to use another filler word? I don't know. No idea. We're going to work on it. That's my promise. We'll work on it. Over here, guys, very sexy setup on AMD, in my personal opinion. Very sexy. We were bullish down here. There's actually on our setups. This level right here was actually on our setups. And then when you dip down below, where are we watching for over here, guys? We are watching right here, the bottom of this trend line for buyers to step in. What also came when that was the case? You had this big green dildo looking candlestick that told us buyers were stepping in, and we pushed right up here. All right. Now we did actually get to, you know, we got to catch that move. That was really sexy. All right. But what's also really sexy about what's going on? The RSI was so close to 30 that you're coming down here to a trend line support and ascending trend line support of the bottom of this pattern that's taken so long. Like, let's just look at this. This is June 2023. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day. It's been forming for so long. This was extremely likely. I still think this thing has much more upside to go. Your supply zone to be paying attention to is going to be 109 to 112. If you get above here, that is when, all right, when you get above, what is that? Holy Micah. I know you guys can hear that. She's so loud. 111.82. All right, you get above there, you got no resistance till all the way up here at 119-ish. All right, guys. With that being said, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Amazon, very sexy going into this week. I will keep this on my radar. This will be on the. We will have a live stream tomorrow. Keep this in mind. All right, guys. We do a live stream every Sunday. If you are new to the channel, we have not the past 2 Sundays because your boy's been training at Cellular Sales, but your boy gets coded next week, and I will be on my own, and I will have my own schedule, so that will be cool. And you know what happens then? The Sunday live streams come back. What do we discuss in the Sunday live stream? We discussed 10 3-to-1 risk reward ratio setups going into the coming week. All right, some of them might be a little under, some of them might be way over. We find, you know, some hidden gems quite some time. All right, quite a few times. But I will just say right now, we also do a daily update every single day, Monday through Friday, and then we have the weekly update that comes out on Saturday. And then what do we have? We finish it off with that live stream. With that being said, everybody have a lovely rest of your Saturday, and I will catch you tomorrow for that live stream. Peace.